Every day, creators post videos claiming that you can make this in 10, 20, 15 minutes. But today, we're putting those claims to the test. Are they truthers or are they liars? Maybe I'll go this way today. No, not that way. That's harder to go down face first. And for this inaugural episode, our first defendant is me, because before I start questioning other people, it only feels right to question myself. The claim, had see you in 10 minutes. A lot of people disagree. We'll see. Now, for those of you who are new, which is really everybody because this is the first episode, let's go over the ground rules. Number 1, I must follow the recipe exactly. No alterations and no shortcuts. Number 2, I must have everything I need out and available, because it's not really fair to waste time if I have to look for my spoon. For number 3, in order for this claim to be true, the food must be on a plate before the time runs out. Got it? Great. Ready, set, go. Okay, so I have everything out and prepped and ready. Well, not prepped, but everything that I need is gonna be out. The first thing we're gonna do is start by preheating our wok, because it's gonna take a few minutes to get hot, and that's okay. We're gonna prep everything else while this gets hot. First things up, Chinese broccoli. I've got about 3 to 4 stems. Actually, that's 5. Why'd I grab 5? Let me take this. I don't like this leaf. This is not a good leaf. Got 5 stems, and I'm just going to give those a rough chop. These are already washed, by the way. You should always be washing your vegetables, and I'm just gonna cut off the butts because I don't want the butts. Go ahead and separate those out. I want those stems to cook a little longer than I want those leaves. Now for our garlic. 4 cloves, if I can get them out. That's 4-ish, or adjacent. If you weren't so worried about cleaning, you could do it even faster than 10 minutes. Just throwing that out there. And we're just going to smash, and we'll just remove these husks, the skins, pull those off. That hit the floor. Don't worry, I'll get that later. Hope this isn't like a really awkward 10 minutes of just watching me do this, because it's only gonna take 10 minutes. I'm feeling very confident, but I also am not gonna look at the clock, so this could be super awkward at the end. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut up this garlic, just a rough chop. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy. This is really awkward. This is why I cut all this stuff out of videos, because it's like, well, if you want to watch me cut garlic for 30 seconds, it just doesn't sound fun. Garlic, chop. Now, move on to our meat, which I'm gonna do on a little cutting board, because I don't want to get this cutting board all nasty and stuff. Always gonna use a glove, because a glove saves me time. I'm gonna wash my hands. 2 chicken thighs, all we need. Oh, that's a tiny one. Grab that one. No, those are good. I'll deal with this after. All right, so now we're just gonna cut these chicken thighs into strips. I'm gonna first cut them long ways, and then into very thin strips, because I want these to cook fast, obviously, trying to beat the timer here. And if they're too thick, then they're gonna take too long to cook. Or worse, I'm gonna be like, haha, I got it, beat the time, and then the chicken's gonna be undercooked. And then you guys will be like, haha, didn't, and that would suck. We're just gonna make sure we cut them small enough to cook, which is just what we did last time. There's no changes here. Again, no alterations. Thankfully, these chicken thighs are pretty well trimmed. I guess it would take you longer if you were using a bone-in, skin-on chicken thigh, but that's just like, if you were like, oh, it took me longer because I had bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, that's like, well, it took me longer because I had to raise chickens to get my eggs. Like, it's not fair. Come on, it's circumstantial. All right, chicken is all cut up. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. We're just gonna move this over to a bowl. And then into this bowl, 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Perfect, that looks about right. Oyster sauce, we've got 2 tablespoons of that. Nope, we don't, 1 tablespoon of that. Cool. Chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon. I'm over here reading the recipe right now because I think that that's fair. I mean, like, I know what goes in it, but as far as like what I'm trying to stay true to what I gave, right? I want to make sure it's accurate. It wouldn't be fair if it wasn't accurate. And then just a touch of white pepper. And then we'll just go ahead and marinate that chicken, get it all nice and swimming. I don't know. I want you guys to know that a lot of the jokes that I make when I'm filming videos, like, I sit there a while and marinate on them, make sure they're good, because sometimes they're not. And so my worst fear with this is not necessarily that I like don't finish in time, because I do truly think that I'll finish in time, but it's that you end up with 10 minutes of me just being sad. I don't know. That's my worrying concern. Now for our sauce, I had to bowl flip. It's part of the recipe. Starting off with light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of that, a little bit more, but that's fine. Dark soy sauce, a tablespoon of that. Oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of that. Got it. What else goes in here? Brown sugar, perfect. 2 tablespoons of that. I've got to grab a spoon. We just talked about this. Now if I lose, it's because I had to grab a spoon. That's the reason why. And then finally, a little more white pepper. And we'll just make sure that's all nice and mixed up. It's not gonna be perfect, obviously, because I'm not gonna sit here for 5 minutes whisking this together to make sure the sugar's dissolved, but it'll be good enough. It tastes just fine. No one complained when I made pad see ew before. All the people that ended up eating that pad see ew, my wife and my family, they liked it. In fact, I made it again and then again. This is the 3rd time I've made it in like the last month. So there you go. The last bit of prep we need to do, grab this knife. I'm just gonna move it over here. Do not put your knife in the sink. Not doing that. Sitting on a paper towel next to the sink. Put it in the sink. You run the risk of it getting dull. You run the risk of chipping. You run the risk risk of cutting your hand. There's a lot of risks involved with putting it in the sink. Now, we're just gonna break up our noodles, which also I'm gonna want a glove for because they're oily. Now, I have a pound of fresh noodles that I got yesterday morning at the Asian market. I'm just gonna go ahead and break those up. Well, technically it's 2 pounds, but I only need a pound. The best way to do this is I like to just pinch them on the sides, have them pull apart. You can just grab a bundle and do this. It doesn't have to be anything specific. They're very long to begin with, so if you end up tearing some, totally okay. Not a big deal whatsoever. All that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want clumps of noodles. There we go. Plenty good. You're joking. Well, that was awkward. Let's see how long it takes to finish this. Oh my God. Well, oil in. This is really awkward. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to say. Make sure our oil is very hot and then in with all of our chicken. I was really confident that this wasn't gonna take more, maybe 11 minutes, 12 minutes. We still got a chance. I mean, we're at, okay. Well, move your chicken around. Oh my God, this is uncomfortable. This is bad. This is demoralizing. Demoralizing, that's a word. I don't know anymore. It doesn't even matter. I'm so sorry. Wow, well, I felt pretty confident. The confidence waned very quickly. And now we're here. I think still confidently we can do it under 15. I don't know what time it is now, but I think under 15. All right, that chicken is seared. We're gonna go ahead and add in our stalks of our Chinese broccoli because we want those to cook down. Are we sure? Maybe the timer was off. Maybe like I just got it. Like I could return it to Amazon because like I got it yesterday. I could just say it's faulty. It ran fast. I didn't time it against anything else. So it's entirely possible that it was faulty. And you know, if that's the case, I can't be held, you know, it's not my fault, you know, not my fault. Going in with our garlic and the rest of our Chinese broccoli. I think maybe I was wrong. This is rough. This is sad now. Maybe if I rushed it. I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to rush it. And I didn't want to do like an on-screen timer and like, you know, then it was like, oh wait, is it really like that long? Or is it just like pretending? Like, I don't know, but I didn't want to rush it. I wanted it to feel, I really felt confident. I didn't feel like I was like telling you guys that it was 10 minutes because I was just lying. I was like, when I do it, I'm like, oh, this doesn't take very long. I think it's like 10 minutes, right? Like that's, I felt very confident, very confident. I was just wrong, just dead wrong. At least we figured it out together. And I'm sorry to everybody who was like, I can't do that in 10 minutes. You're right, can't. Maybe you can if you were like, if you had everything prepped, then for sure. You had everything prepped, everything cut. Yeah, the cooking process doesn't take 10 minutes. Sure hope it doesn't. This is gonna be really awkward if it does. I don't know, I don't know anything anymore. I'm just a dude on the internet. All right, well our eggs went in and now we're just gonna move all that stuff over. Let our wok get a little hot again. More oil around the edge. Once we start to get some sizzle, add in our noodles. I'm really disappointed. Okay, well, I mean like, you know, I was honest about the process. Like I could have like been, man, like it didn't take that long. But, you know, I think that would have been cool. Noodles are in, so is our sauce. And we'll just go ahead and toss those together. Make sure that's nice, saucy, and cooked through. Like I said, these noodles are already fully cooked, so they shouldn't take very long at all. We want to make sure our temperature is as hot as it can get so we can char up all these noodles in that sauce. And after a couple minutes, we've got a good char. We're gonna go ahead and add in our other cooked stuff. And all we need to do, toss it all together. And that's time. 17 minutes and 43 seconds. Damn. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know who we should put to the test next. Here's a photo of me looking really embarrassing, and I'll see you next week.